Hello, welcome to the island of San Miguel in the Azores for the fourth round of the 2015 FIA European Rally Championship, the 50th edition of the Santa Rally Azores. This is the first gravel event, following an all asphalt round at the Circuit of Ireland, of course, in April. It is, quite simply, amazing. What a great place to play with a rally car. Welcome back to the Azores. Cato leaving Ponta Delgada to Group Marques. 3 stages in the afternoon, 1 super special stage as well, and 2 regular stages. Sun shining, a little bit brighter than the morning. Stage 1, 2 cars will set off on that super special incidentally at the same time. And at the halfway point, the stage, they'll swap lanes. You've seen it before. Well, Race of Champions format, I think you might say. 3.95 kilometres and just approaching 5 to 5 local time, so heading into the night. Cato Kajatanovic racing against Ricardo Mora. 3:33.7, 1.6 seconds quicker than Mora by the end. Had a lot of fun on the stage, apparently. Well, you stick rally drivers in the Race of Champions, they usually win. And when it comes to this, well, they'd like a narrow track, of course, but with the barrier in the middle, it can prove something of a test of nerves, apart from anything else. Ricardo Mora is Ford, all fixed after that qualifying misfortune. 3:33.7, second fastest. Well, maybe a little bit of local knowledge helped out there. Suspicion of practice? Who knows? Craig Breen racing against Alves. 3:36.7, 3 seconds slower than Cato, 1.5 behind Mora. And we get on board with Breen and Martin here. Not much room for error, you might say. Busy hands, smooth car. Good work. This is where it begins proper. Solocois is 7.3 kilometres, 60% gravel, 40% tarmac, so mixed. And then the Villa Franca São Brás, 88% gravel, 12% tarmac. Take nothing for granted on a rally like this. We'll take nothing for granted, nothing is certain either, especially with the mixed surface. Drivers need to manage their gravel tyres on the tarmac portions. Not happy with his tyre choice though, Cato. It's being on soft tyres, 3rd fastest on stage 2. Ruining that? Was it an error? We'll see how the others go. Certainly looks smooth and sinuous for much of it. And preservation of gravel tyres on the tarmac, a vital skill. And indeed with varying percentages as well to deal with and indeed to save over. Yeah, it's a hard trick to muster. Well, mind the cars and mind the chopper. Ricardo Mora. Car fixed after his off at the end of the qualifying stage, and out he came into full combat. 2nd fastest time on stage 2, and really kicking up a storm, as you can see. Super smooth, Mora. Just look at the nose of the vehicle throughout all of these turns. And this is a man absolutely at the top of his game. And in fact, beating Cato by 0.1 of a second. Couldn't have been narrower, I guess, like the road itself, but his skills absolutely paramount. Look at this. Well, you keep it smooth and online, you get the time. Issues on the Peugeots and the DS3s with the pop-off valve. It's an FIA part which blows off the pressure on the intake system of the turbocharged engine, resulting in a loss of power. Still fastest, though, on stage 2 and stage 3. Craig Green jumps ahead of Kato, takes the lead after 3 stages. But what about that pop-off valve issue? Well, he'll talk about it later. Much busier at the wheel, Green. You see the nose of the vehicle just slightly more twitchy, but he gets so much power down, and it's the sheer bravery of the man as well that's delivered on so many occasions, using all of the road and maybe a little bit more. Good run.
We had a little problem on the second stage, but okay, the last stage was quite okay. We didn't have so many problems in there, so we just went with a little bit of a hard compound tire, so we lost a little bit of time in the first stage. But no, it's been a quite good afternoon.
Remember what we said about keeping it smooth? Robert Consani, unfortunately, had it off on stage 3, drops to 7th at the end of the day. Charles Martin in the T16, most affected by the pop-off issue on the Peugeots, and yes, the power loss accounting for quite a bit of time, and lost about 3 minutes, which is a real shame for him. Craig Green then, our leader overall. Kato in second place, close at hand, likewise Mora. That spins out just a little with Moffat down there. That's Josh indeed. Just 24 seconds adrift. Early days. Fabulous backdrop. Great theatre there for us to play with. Rally started yesterday, 3 stages. ERC Championship leader Breen won 2 of them, and of course took the lead. Super balanced performance in his Peugeot 208 T16. Some teething problems still, but nonetheless quick. Closest to Breen, Ketan Kirtanovic in the Ford Fiesta R5. Just a small lead, only 1.4 seconds, but Breen will be happy with that over Kato. Kato winning the opening stage, don't forget. Well, it doesn't go smoothly for everybody, and the rally started badly for local hero Mora. Ricardo, to you and me, had an off at the finish of the qualifying stage. No big damage, took the start of the rally and was 3rd after 3 stages. I think he was probably feeling a little bit lucky to get away with it. So today, second part of leg 1, starting with a loop of 4 stages which are repeated in the afternoon, including the famous volcano stage. When you see it, you never forget it. As usual, mix of gravel and tarmac, making tyre choice essential, but also difficult. You can never predict the weather, but thankfully sunny for day 2. Stage starting off at 10 AM. 8th on the road, Josh Moffat. 4th overall, ahead of stage 4. And 4th quickest in stage 4 as well. Things, though, can never be counted as certain, especially on this island where the surface, as you know, is mixed. And a bad off just after the flying finish line. Saw the corner too late, could not avoid it, and unfortunately, rally over. Never good to be overtaken by one of your own wheels. Ricardo Mora, 8th on the stage, 3rd on stage 4 and 6. Ford Fiesta R5. Valuable choice. 5th on stage 5. And 3rd overall before stage 7. The gap, 35.4 seconds ahead of Bruno Meiles. Ketan Kirtanovic pushing very hard, 2nd fastest on stages 4 and 5, and the fastest through 6. Fighting hard for the lead with Breen. Kato, super smooth, even when the road is anything but. Craig Breen. Let's see the time between Breen and Kato, stage by stage. 0.1 second quicker than Kato on stage 4. 3.5 seconds ahead on stage 5. 2.6 seconds slower on stage 6 before, yes, a breathtaking 28.92 kilometre stage 7. Sete Ciudades. Breen leads 2.4 seconds ahead of Kato. That is class. 3 stages in the first loop done, now heading for the volcano stage. Breen in the lead, 2.4 seconds ahead of Kato. Mora third, 19.1 seconds behind. Look at it. It's amazing. Well, now tackling the most famous and surely the most beautiful stage in the ERC, called Sete Ciudades, near the crater of the volcano. Wonderful scenery. Longest stage of the rally. Not quickly forgotten. Well, always a hell of a job to be first on the road, and Giacomo Costanaro, yes, was first, meaning he was cleaning and sweeping the loose gravel on top. Not much grip, and so maybe he had an excuse for the spin. Bruno Megalish, two-time winner on the Azores, lost a lot of time yesterday with an engine issue, so kind of try to make up ground while keeping it sensible, ever mindful, of course, of funding, which comes and goes for him. Thankfully, he's with us this year in his Peugeot 208 T16. Well, you know what? Getting the road wrong is pretty basic. Went straight on at a hairpin, had to reverse, never fun. Still taking the third fastest time, making you wonder what might have been his fourth place in the overall standings. Wonderful, wonderful scenery. Ricardo Mora. Awful stage for him. Beautiful backdrop. Brakes not working perfectly and dropped more than 40 seconds, unfortunately. Still third in the overall standings. Work to be done then. Back at base. First time for Kato on this stage. Kato 2.4 seconds behind Breen in the overall standings at the start of the stage, don't forget. About tyre and brake management this stage, I think it's fair to say, and so too soft a tyre and a big drop off near the final of the stage. His time 20:50.2. So many different surfaces to contend with. It's a hard one to master, and if you are a debutant on it, can come as a bit of a shock. Great time though. And of course, crazy. Small lead of 2.4 seconds over Kato at the start of the stage. Craig Breen, all goes well during the first part, but halfway, Breen losing the balance of the Peugeot. Check this out. Well, he had a couple of spins actually, dropped time of course. Thankfully, no damage. His time, 20:59.3, still a great time, losing only 9 seconds over Kato despite his problems doing the old pirouettes. Kato, though, taking the lead of the rally. Breen now 6.7 seconds behind overall. So, maybe ruining what might have been? Yet again, it seems that contact with the surface is the issue.
Absolutely zero grip on the second half of the stage. The first half was reasonably okay, and then it was like someone just flicked the switch and said you have no back of the car, and I just fell at the end of the stage. I fell my way through the banks all the way to the end of the stage. Incredibly strange.
Falling on. Diving with style. Kajtanovic then leading this one, 6.7 seconds ahead of Breen. It's your overall classification. It's tight at the top. Mora keeping them very, very honest. The lagoon of the Seven Cities is a twin lake situated in the crater of a massive volcano on the Portuguese archipelago of the Azores. It consists of two ecologically different small lakes connected by a narrow passage. It's crossed by a bridge, located in the dormant volcano on the western third of the island of San Miguel. We're going to go playing with it later. Riley Azores is the third round of the Junior Championship, and after Section 1, Leg 1 yesterday, Chris Ingerman and Ralph Simakis were tied for the junior lead here in the ERC. Well, the day started with a mechanical problem for John Armstrong. Near the start of Stage 7, the longest stage of the day, he broke his front right shock absorber. He was able to finish, but at the service park he lost time repairing the car and went out too late. He will continue, but with a 90-second penalty. Well, even if it's his second year in the Junior Championship, Alex Zawada comes for the first time to the Azores. Consistent all day, moving from 12th this morning to 6th overall. Good progress then for the man on board the Opel. Portuguese driver Diogo Gogo drives for the win and disappointed with the morning as well. Mistake on Stage 7, fell in a ditch. Unfortunately, his co-driver had to push, and they lost 30 seconds. Never good, leaning that heavily on your co-driver. Well, they righted it, and of course they made it up later.
Yeah, it's disappointed because I don't wanted these things. The car is okay. The mistake was me.
Fastest in the first stage of the day, Stage 4, Emil Bergqvist. I didn't push, lost time in the longest section of Stage 7. After service,
some changes
same tyres
on the afternoon and hope for a better run now. First of all, change the tyres because it was really rough out there, so, and then some setup.
There we are, changes to be made. Third overall after Loop 1 this morning, Ralph Simakis, proving that he's fast on gravel. The SRT driver, 21 seconds behind the leader, and keeps fighting for that overall victory. Steve Rockland finishing the morning with the best time on Stage 7, second overall, 9.5 seconds behind Chris Ingram.
4 right minus, into 6 left minus, 15, 6 right plus over Chris, into 6 left minus short, 35 right long, tight.
James Aldridge doing a great job of the calling.
2 left plus, 30.
Fastest on Stage 6, Chris Ingram, feeling good with the Peugeot 208 on the gravel roads.
Break, 6 right, 6 right, and 4 left.
Well, he was pushing a lot, even tagged a few rocks and walls as he was going, flat out.
Plus, and 2 left, big stop, 3 right, into 6 right, comes quick over junction.
He wasn't hanging back.
6 right, comes quick over junction, 250.
Absolutely flat out. There's a 500-foot drop into the big lake, but when you drive in these cars, you just don't think about it, and it's just crazy, really. You've got to be a bit stupid. I love it, yeah. Best stages in the world on this rally, and just don't want it to end.
Second loop of the afternoon with the same 4 stages, and of course sunny if breezy weather. End of the day, bad for Simakis. Slow without power in Stage 11. Bent exhaust pipe was the reason. Lost 6 minutes 58. A lot of drivers passed him, and he's now last in the standings.
We hit the wall, then with front hit the wall, and then is something happened with car engine because we now have only 3,000 RPM maximum, so we drive very slowly after that crash. But if car will be good, then I think I lose some 20 seconds only.
Second overall after leg 1, Steve Rockland made no mistakes. He's 22 seconds behind the leader. A really good start for his first year on the Azores.
Goal is always to win, but Chris Ingram looks really fast and he has the experience from the stages from last year, so it's my first time here, so it's quite difficult, but I'll do my best for sure.
Oh, 2 more stages and 2 more stage wins, I should say, in the afternoon. Chris Ingram increased his lead, fastest on the vote. Kano Rim, the Peugeot driver, continues to dominate the Rally Azores in the junior class. Super work. Ingram and Moreau leading this by 22.4 seconds ahead of Rockland and Aldridge. Back to the battle for the overall lead. Kato is leading 6.7 seconds ahead of Brian. Service then at 1:10 local time. Well, Breen isn't a happy man, trying to figure out what went wrong on the volcano stage and exactly what he could do about it.
I just tried to change the pitch of the car a little bit and tried to put more weight and more grip on the rear. So that's all I need now is just some confidence in the rear of the car, because on the last stage, even when some corners I had grip, I didn't have the confidence to push, because on the previous one I would have nothing. So I just need to find some more confidence again.
The tires choice, I think, was good. I don't know what we want to do, what we can to do.
It's getting warmer now.
Yes. Just we must thinking about this. We have 1 hour. At this moment, it's okay.
There's the 1 minute sign. Let's get out of here. Second loop of the day. The fight intense for the lead between Kato and Breen. 3 small stages before the second pass of Sete Cidades. Kato Kajetanovich is on the limit, almost everywhere. Well, on such narrow roads with mixed surfaces, there's absolutely no room for error. And he looks good. Looking good is one thing, being quick is another. No fastest time over the 3 stages for Kato. Threading the car beautifully past rock walls and embankments, as you can see. So the question was, would he still have the lead ahead of Breen before the second pass of Sete Cidades? Big question. 1.6 seconds quicker than Kato on stage 8 was Craig Breen. 1 second faster on stage 9 as well. And on stage 10, he found another 1.3 seconds. Well, resetting the balance of the car in the service park had clearly had a huge impact. No space for any errors likewise. So, 1 stage to go, and Breen now 2.8 seconds behind Kato. What an amazing battle we were experiencing. Two great performers with an amazing stage for their theatre. So time to take the standings after stage 10. Cato leading by just 2.8 seconds. Mora over a minute down. Megalesh and Fontes making up the top 10. Consani, Moffat, Woodvillas, Rego and Lustak in the top 10. Well, grown hundreds of miles away from the industrial pollution and harvested every April to September. It's Goraner's single estate green and black tea. They've been cultivating this since 1883 as a constant. A unique European tea produced pesticide-free for 130 years. 2 sugars, please. Welcome back to Portugal for the 50th edition of the Sartha Rally Azores. Here before stage 11, Cato leading, Breen chasing, 2.8 seconds separating them. Time then for the last stage of the day and the second pass of Sete Cidades. Yes, one of the most challenging and beautiful stages in the world of rallying. Beat that. Stage 11, 28.92 kilometres, just after 4 o'clock local time in the afternoon. Robert Consani. Time 21:26.8. 6th quickest. 6th in the standings. 9.6 behind Fontes in the Citroën DS3. Problems with the diff on the stage though. Always hampering. And even the debutants of course have seen this one then before with the second passage along here. Doesn't make it any easier. Bruno Megalesh, Portuguese, in the 208 T16. His time 21:02.9. 4th fastest, and as you can see, just losing that back end on occasion, especially on some of the crests. 4th in the standings, as we mentioned, but no more technical issues with his car, so all down to the driving then. This stage really is like cutting the blade of a skyscraper. It's unbelievable. Ricardo Mora, his time 20:53.5. Here we go. Fantastic onboard work. Well, it was 8.4 seconds faster than Megalesh. 3rd fastest as well. 3rd in the standings. Just sad for him. Kicking up a dust storm, but just not kicking dust in the faces of Cato, or indeed Breen. Good run though, a tough one, and he acknowledged that.
It's difficult. They are faster than me. Of course, we lost a bit too much time in the last passage here in this stage. But anyway, couldn't match that rhythm, that's for sure. They are from another championship.
Same championship, but yes, just fantastic pace. Ketan Kejtanovic, the pole in the Ford Fiesta R5. His time out there, 20:38.1, 12 seconds faster than his first passage. That's class. Just note what you've got to deal with, make amendments, and, of course, crucially, deliver it. Well, at the end of this run, Cato finished 15.4 seconds quicker than Mora had done. At the end, he said he just couldn't have gone any faster. Well, let's see if it's enough, shall we, to keep Breen behind in the standings.
It's unbelievable because we are pushing so much, believe me. It's my second time on the stage. It's finished the stage. It's like a win for us.
Slight right.
But would he? Breen on course. Martin calling.
20 going up. Left and flat 2 right in. I'm a big crest, okay. 30. Left tightens to flat 3 maybe, and flat 2 right sharp 30. Watch left tightens to 2 minus, narrows of a crest, and flat 1 right. 100. Slow in, long 1 left.
26.3 seconds faster than his first pass. 5.1 faster than Cato.
Slide left through the dip. 60. Stop up deceptive early 4 right.
Up to first, 2.3 seconds ahead of Cato. Fantastic battle for the lead. What a performance.
40, slight left, and watch 4 right plus of a crest, half long, tightens. 30.
Huge push then from Breen. What delivery.
The guys have really rectified the car. I have a lot better feeling now. For sure I don't take any stupid risks or try to do anything silly. I'm just keeping in the middle of the road, and yeah, it's obviously enough.
It is enough. Breen takes the lead, 2.3 seconds ahead of Cato. Mora, 1 minute and 20 down now ahead of Magalesh and Fontes. Craig Breen, apparently a class apart, and doing it for our entertainment. Let's have a quick look at the action from leg 1. Championship leader Craig Breen had a difficult moment during the first run of the volcano stage, the Sete Cidades. But he hit back, took the lead, and was up there at the end of the day. Well, Ketan Kirtanovic lost the lead on that last stage of the day, but only by 2.3 seconds. Fantastic fight between Breen and Cato ahead of leg 2. Ricardo Mora, local hero, but had some brake issues. Third after leg 1, 1:20.9, 1 minute 20.9 behind Breen. Well, the youngest of the Irish Moffat brothers lost 4th place at the end of stage 4, crashing into a guardrail after the finish of the stage. Returns with rally 2, though, does Josh. Craig then leading this by 2.3 seconds. Couldn't be narrower at the top. Minute and 20 ahead of Mura. Magalesh at 2 minutes and 9, and they're all minute intervals almost beyond that. Another sunny day in San Miguel, at least at the service park in Ponta Delgada. Another 6 stages to go, with Tronquera running in stage 13 and 17, that being the longest. Breen leaving the service park, leading the rally by 2.3 seconds over Cato. Leg 2 starts with a loop of 3 stages. Busy day ahead then. And the sun just starting to disappear. The weather remarkable in its changeable nature here. Sun out of service, and then it just got a little bit nasty out there. Gimeas 20.9 kilometres, 92% gravel, and 96% gravel for Tronquera, so reasonably stable, I think you might say. No sunshine at the start of 12. Cloudy and humid, though. Good conditions for a soft tyre compound. How would they go? Oh, Ricardo Mora starting off 8th on the road. This was a man who was sort of struggled, like the rest of the pack, with the fog at the start of stage 12. Burst out of it, though, managed to set the fastest time on stage 12, despite those brake problems, and went second fastest in 13 to sit 3rd overall. A man, I guess you might say, at peace with himself in all this drama. Mora satisfied with his run.
On the last 6 to 7 Ks, I'm braking 2 times. Brake, go and brake, because I have to inject the pedal. So really tough.
Tough, coped well. Keita Kirtanovic, 9th on the road. Great fight continues with Breen for the lead. Some of these crests absolutely flat out, leading to more technical sections. At least the surface more predictable today, with over 90% of it being gravel. Really was mixed yesterday. Second quickest on stage 12, just 0.2 behind Mora. Indeed, went well as well on stage 13. Could have gone quicker perhaps, but put something in the bag. 4th quickest through 13. Reason for his pace, hard tyres. Not the ideal choice, I guess you might say. It's all about contact.
The car is perfect, but the tires are too hard. It's simple. I did mistake in the service, and we must just driving with these tires.
Clearly disappointed by his tyre choice. What about Craig Breen then? 10th on the road. How would he go? Well, on 4 used tyres to keep a new set of tyres for the last loop. Clever boy. 2.8 seconds slower than Kato on stage 12, and then a big push on 13. Absolutely flying through the stage, as you can see. Helicopter struggling to keep up. 10.4 seconds quicker than Kato on that big push through 13, and you can see absolutely on the limit. Well, back in the lead, Craig Breen. And now the gap to Kato, 15.8 seconds.
The end of the stage was really loose, and I took it quite carefully there, but it was quite okay. It's a good time, so I'm quite happy with that.
Modesty will out. Well, stage 14, a bit like race 2. The car's setting off at the same time. Halfway point, the stage, they swap lanes. Plenty of spectators attending the super special of the rally, the second one indeed. Breen racing Kato. On no more grip for Breen on used tyres. Breen had been losing about 1.3 seconds per kilometre on the 3.9 second course, behind Kato at the end of the stage, I should say. So Kato won the super special and is now 11.9 seconds behind Breen in the standings. Really not sure what the likes of Scott Martin can offer up on one of those super specials. They really are very difficult, I imagine, to call. Furnas, the Terra Nostra, the garden village of Furnas, eastern part of the island, 200 years old, features all the kinds of tropical flora and fauna of the Azores that it has to offer. Absolutely beautiful. Anyway, we'll be back to the rally after this. Welcome back to the Azores for the last loop of the rally. We'll also have a close look at the ERC Juniors for you in this section. Bring them with a lead of 11.9 seconds going into this. Second pass of Grimiñas and Tranqueira, stage 15, Villa Franca São Brás, is a repeat test of stage 3 that was raced on Thursday. Well, 88% gravel, 12% tarmac for the São Brás, and that 92-8 combination, 92 gravel, 8 tarmac for Grimiñas. Bruno Magalhães, twice a winner on the Azores, 4th fastest on both of the stages, 4th overall. Can't go for 3rd, or indeed lose 4th. Consani way behind, so sort of solid in that position. Testing a few things, a few new things indeed, on the car, such as suspension. So a good test bed for them today. Ricardo Mora on the Ford Fiesta R5, 3rd in stage 15 and indeed 16. He really was the best of the rest after Kato and Breen. Driving onto the finish. Podium the goal. And indeed, with his brake issues, probably a welcome result, frankly. Kato Kajatanovic, the pole, and his Ford Fiesta R5. Well, on soft, waiting for the rain, which unfortunately for him never came. Touched the bank on stage 15 as well. As a result, stripped out some time, unfortunately. Second fastest in stage 15, and indeed 16 as well. Well, if you thought he was just going to bring this home, think again. Look at the onboard. Despite being off the pace that Breen was able to set, he was still pushing.
Slow in 60, turn 5 left of a crest onto tar.
The voice of Scott Martin. He and Craig Breen doing a fantastic job. Hard compounds, no more risks, but he won both stages. In the end, the lead over Kato was to be significant. Breen going from strength to strength this season. Seems the ill fortune and indeed technical issues of last season just starting to drift away, which is great news. Peugeot 208 T16 just finding its feet, and he, a master in control, ably assisted by Scotty Martin. 24.9 seconds lead on Kato. Significant. Overall classification after 16, Breen and Martin, 24.9 over Baran and Kato. Mura, solid, but 1:56 off Breen's pace. Well, time to look at the ERC Juniors now. Looking back at leg one from the junior class, the leader of the junior championship before this rally was Emil Bergqvist. Finished the first leg third overall with 3 stage victories. First time in the Azores for Steve Rockland. Impressed with second position overall after day one, just 22 seconds behind the leader. James Aldridge doing the calling. Meanwhile, Chris Ingham took the lead after stage 4, faster in 4 of the 11 stages. The British driver dominating the first leg. Well, last day on the Azores with 2 loops and 3 stages, and a total of 101.39 kilometres. Chris Ingham starting leg 2, setting the best time on stage 12, clinching the top 3 with 2 other stages and keeping easily at spot on the podium. Top spot, the best spot. Well, the second leg going better for the German driver, Marianne Greibel. Second experience on gravel after having done the WRC in Portugal. And Greibel was the fastest junior in stage 13 and showed that, yeah, he can learn quickly, which is good.
Yeah, I'm getting more and more used to the gravel. It is my second rally and it's feeling much better now than yesterday and in the first one. So I'm quite happy about it, and I hope I can finish the rally now on that good 5th place.
Marianne Greibel, one to watch. Steve Rockland, second this morning, lost his position and a lot of time when he went off the road in the final 2 kilometres of the first stage.
Great start on the first one until the last 2-3 kilometers. Then we had a small overshoot. Lost about 10 seconds. We had to start the car and reverse and everything. So, and the second stage, I think I was a bit too aggressive on the slow corners and lack of confidence on the fast bits on the pace notes. So it's quite hard, but we'll try our best this afternoon to get the second place back.
James Aldridge co-driving for Steve. Well, with a mistake in Rockland, the battle is, of course, for second place in the juniors. Diogo Gogo pushing a lot. Great comeback. Past Rockland, now third overall, 10 seconds behind Bergqvist.
I feel good and feel confidence. I push and try to get the Bergqvist, but it's difficult because the level is so high in this championship.
It certainly is. Latvia's Ralf Sermakis ended the rally on the first stage of the morning after having got off the road, blocked in a ditch, unfortunately, and not able to come back, had to retire. Bad rally for the Latvian Emils Blums. Lost his wheel in stage 14, decided to continue driving on 3 wheels, but a lot of work for his team, and he stopped at the service park. Last 3 stages were critical then for Opel Motorsport team. Marianne Griebel broke a drive shaft in the last stage and moved from 4th to 6th, and Bergqvist drove with a broken gearbox, and the last 2 stages finishing 4th overall in the Azores, unfortunately for him. Gogo, most impressive comeback made by the Portuguese Diogo Gogo. Fastest in the last 2 stages, and just didn't let any chance go to Steve Rockland, with whom he was battling. Gogo finished 2nd overall, his best result in the ERC Juniors, but nothing could stop Chris Ingram this weekend. Clinched his first career victory in the ERC Junior class. Gavin Moreau doing the calling.
Yeah.
Everybody happy then.
Best feeling in the world. I am speechless. It's just been the most difficult rally ever. Been 6 or 7 guys that could have won, but the competition's been incredible. And bring on Ypres, because the championship title is still up for grabs now.
Oh, missing out on the podium for the first time this year. Emil Bergqvist still leading the junior championship though. Confirmation, Ingram on 74 points, Bergqvist 98 at the top. Lago di Fogo is a crater. It's a lake as well, within the Agua de Pau Massif in the centre of the island of San Miguel. Well, the authorities don't allow any modern construction around this lake, and it's the highest above sea level on the San Miguel Island. There's an array of scenic heights here as well. You can go walking, as well as, of course, swimming and just generally enjoying things like the Lake of Fire. We'll take a break. A neo-Gothic style chapel that imitates the great Gothic cathedrals of Europe was erected and inaugurated in 1886 by Jose de Canto, gentleman farmer of San Miguel, following a terminal illness of his beloved wife. When he died, he was buried alongside his wife within the chapel on the shores of Lago de Funes. Budvillas won 11 stages in the ERC2. Impressive throughout the event. 8th overall, takes the lead in ERC2 standings.
Amazing rally. It's so great to be at the finish. I will remember this forever, for sure. These stages, the car was working very good. I'm happy. Thank you for Subaru team. Everyone has done really great job.
Subaru beating Mitsubishi Evo Lancer 9 then. Second, within 4 minutes of Budvias, was David Botka. 45.7 seconds behind was Stave, 12th overall. Luis Rego, 52.2 seconds behind Budvias. Here is Rego now in his Lancer Evo 9 as well. Puncture on the last stage though, so down to 5th in the ERC2 category, down from 9th to 22nd overall as well, which was unfortunate, bad luck. Good to see these machines still duking it toe-to-toe. Mixture of Subaru Impreza and Mitsubishi Evo. How long this history of rallying seen that? So back with the big boys for the final stage of the rally. Breen, comfortable lead in the rally of 24.9 seconds over Cato. Well, Breen has a cushion, and he can afford to lose about a second a kilometre on the last stage. Doesn't lose more than that, then he'll win the rally. Simple as. Consani, first time with the DS3 on gravel. Quite a lot of issues, it has to be said. Today, though, brakes not working properly, 5th in the final standings. It's been a wrestle, but he got there. So work to be done on the DS3 R5 and Robert Kasani, but it will be done. Bruno Megalesh, never in the running for a third victory on the Azores, unfortunately for Bruno, a man who often struggles getting funding together. We've seen that in the past. Well, he was here with his Peugeot 209 T16, and it's good to see him functioning at this level because we know he's a great driver. Lost a lot of time during the first stages due to power loss, unfortunately. Fourth, though, in the overall standings, just missing out on the podium. Well, they know, of course, Bruno. They also know Ricardo. Moura in a Ford Fiesta R5, plagued by brake problems all rally long. Well, pumping that brake pedal like a crazed organist. Still manages to take third overall, though. Ketan Kejtanovic, well, he made the wrong tyre choice in the morning, and as a result the gap between himself and Breen really did expand. Time on the last stage 18:17.6, 6 seconds slower than during the first runs of the morning. It really did have a feeling of a man who was just bringing it home, knowing that anything more could well prove costly and possibly to no avail.
Sorry for my team, because in the morning I made a mistake with the tires choice.
And 4 left sharp tightens. 34.
Well, Craig Breen had to fight against a loose rear of the car on the previous day, on the first volcano stage, but the team fixed the problem, and that gave Breen the confidence to fight back. Time on the last stage 17:40.4, or 37.2 seconds faster than Cato, so Craig wasn't holding back. Breen wins the Azores ahead of Cato and Moura, and he was pleased.
You know, last year should have been my last year in the European Championship. I've got one extra year to prove that I deserve to be here and I deserve to be, you know, moving forward in the sport. So this year everything has clicked. Myself and Scott are doing a fantastic job, I think. Porsche Sport are doing a great job. I've got the team behind me, and I'm on top of the world right now.
There we go. Good man. And a good man will prevail, and did. Breen taking this by 1 minute and 2 over Cato. Well, third victory for Breen and Martin in the ERC 2015. Wiped out the disappointment of the early retirement in the WRC in Portugal. Breen stays top of the driver's standings, now 12 points ahead of Cato. He's good, and he's in a good place. 117 points, as opposed to Kato's 103. And more good news for Breen. Takes the lead in the Gravel Master standings at the end of the season, celebrating the driver with the best stage results during gravel rallies. Breen taking 12 fastest times out of 17 stages. And the Colin McRae Flat Out Trophy awarded for the second time to Chris Ingram. First time in Ireland last year after winning the junior competition. Third time in a row that a junior gets the Colin McRae Flat Out Trophy this year. Been a terrific rally in the most outstanding surroundings, and what a great winning combination we've got. Scott Martin ably at the side of Craig Breen. Next rally will be Ypres. So farewell to the Azores, and it's bye from me, Carter Gabby. See you next time.